Hey everybody, today I'm very excited to introduce to you one of our 2024 Male Ally of the Year nominees, Sean Miller. He's the managing partner at Congenius and came in with amazing nomination. The people had great things to say about Sean and Sean's company. And I just want to give you an opportunity here, Sean, to talk a little about yourself, your company, and I want to say thanks for being here and participating, and I am so happy to have you in as this nomination.
Well, I mean, it's an absolute pleasure to be nominated. Definitely came out of left field, and just so appreciative of your organization, Suzi, and actually women business owners. We're fortunate enough to support a good number of women business owners and entrepreneurs, um, and I guess here we are. And I would say it's a reciprocal thing. So Congenius, we do tech, branding, and beyond, and it's definitely like a reciprocal relationship where women business owners actually support us, and then in turn we support them, and so it's been a good relationship for sure.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, because that's why I felt it was super important that we do something, because we, as women business owners, always have some kind of human in the background, male figure, whether it's a dad, a spouse, a best friend, or even a good contractor, someone that's helping us. We always have somebody, and I wanted to honor that. I wanted to recognize that. I wanted to say, hey, we are a women's organization, but we see you. We know you're there. We couldn't do it without you, just like you're saying, reciprocally. You guys need us, we need you. And I really just wanted NAWBO to acknowledge that and take the opportunity to just say, hey, we're going to do this for you. And I had no idea how many people would respond. We ended up with 28 nominees. Don't be scared. Not all have accepted it. Some are like, hey, I love this. Thank you. But, so don't be afraid. It's great. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited for this. And I want to talk briefly because yours really stood out to me when I was reading a lot of the nominations, because somebody actually had a specific motto that you use. And it says, our women's history is genius. I think that's fantastic. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so as part of our initiative of Women's History Month, we have a copywriter on our team, Joanna Pearson, who takes the lead and writes stories about women business owners in the month of March. And so we've taken it up several levels from when we started. Um, and last year's theme, which carried over, is My Women's History is Genius. So it's a play on congenius, obviously.
Okay.
But we have business owners that work within our business. So Joanne is a copywriter in our business, and she profiled a number of women leaders, business owners. Some were not business owners, but leaders in organizations. Um, and so it's kind of stuck. And so we like to say, like, our women's history, or my women's history, specifically, is genius. And it's really that we get to tell great stories. We get to be a part of these stories, and really, it's genius. Like you said, like, there's so much in the background of business owners in
Yeah.
general, but specifically when we talk to women business owners, we just find so many background things, and we've been able to highlight them, and it's been really cool. So we like to say, our women's history is genius, and that's kind of where it started. But it's really about telling the stories. So, we have a great blog that we did, and some videos that we've done of profiling women business leaders.
I love that. I appreciate that. I think that's amazing. And I like to direct people that way to take a peek at those. What can you tell us a little about your company, just so people are familiar with, what Congenius does, how you help, and how people can maybe utilize your services?
Absolutely. So we do tech. So we do development work, and we do branding. So and we say tech, branding, and beyond. But anything from building a web application, a mobile application, empowering businesses, or creating a brand, anywhere from a logo, video, photography, websites, print, collateral, really supporting businesses through their journey of technology and branding. Because usually some of the tougher areas for businesses, especially if they're trying to scale. And so we create scalable, good resources for those endeavors in business.
Nice. So who would your ideal client be?
And that's interesting because our ideal client and has just been entrepreneurs or from Fortune 100 to a brand new business. So we've been in insurance, we've been in tech obviously, but in transportation, we've been in healthcare, we have healthcare brokers, we've been in finance or wealth management,
Yeah.
um, we've been in e-commerce. So from fleet management or fleet wash companies to um, uh, um, flower girl dresses. We've supported businesses, in many different verticals, and it's been centered around, telling their story as a brand or enabling technology that drives a business forward.
I love that.
So
This,
I mean, it's very, very, very vast,
yeah.
but that's really what's made it unique and really fun to work. Education's another pretty good sector for us. And so, a lot of our businesses and partners, we call them connected businesses, led by so many outstanding women. So it's kind of cool.
So this might catch you a little off guard. And if you don't have an answer right away, no worries. But when you said about in that branding aspect and you started talking a little bit about stories, do you have any story through your journey that really sticks out with any specific company? And maybe you can't say who they are, and that's totally fine. But is there any specific kind of story that sticks out where you're like, this is why I do what I do, or this is amazing, or maybe it's just hilarious?
I mean, yeah, there's always a lot of stories. I mean, especially like stories of businesses that came up through COVID,
Mm,
um, and really, um, I just fortunately, like, I'm not a person that's about like the spotlight or want attention for anything that we do. But I would say, like, women's history is one of our biggest endeavors that we put money in to market and tell stories of women business owners and leaders. And I would just say that those are kind of the stories that really resonate with me on this journey. Whether it's a parent or a single parent, whether a dad that was a CEO at one point motivated a daughter to become an entrepreneur themselves. So we've seen a lot of that or heard about a lot of that.
yeah.
There's a lot of for all of us, right? Raising a family and managing a business at the same time. So those have been good stories. There's some businesses where everything they touch turns to gold. It's just like they're just on fire. And so we have some of those businesses where they're just on it and they do really well. But the ones that stand out, like physical therapy, we're in that arena as well, with some women business leaders there. And I mean, I like those businesses to work with them, especially when you can do like a photo shoot or a video or touch base and maybe get an adjustment on your body. So I like those interactions.
Perfect.
But yeah, I mean, I think I've always enjoyed people. And so to be able to connect with people in technology and branding and some of the things that I'm passionate about in product development, it's like, and I can actually do this as a job and, and have passion every day to do it. It's been a great journey. But, ideally, I think March is a great month for Congenius in that we get to really celebrate, women's history, and on top of it, it's all pretty much done by the women of our company, and
Okay.
so we're not really, me as a guy, I'm not involved in a whole heck of a lot, but selling an idea sometimes and then watching it just play out. And it's been cool.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate companies like yours, and I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to meet you in person on the 10th, and I'm excited to see how this unfolds. So nominations closed. Voting is open through the 30th. So make sure you vote for Sean and make sure you push it out to your friends and just take this opportunity. You know, you're not the first guy that said, hey, I just don't want to be in the spotlight, but you know what? You've done a lot of work. You've earned this. This is something somebody thinks you're worthy of having. Take the minute, brag, take the week, just brag about yourself a little bit and just, you know, honor that about you. Cause it's amazing people like you that create an amazing world for me and my children, your children, you know, all of that. So I do appreciate it. And I think that, you know, happily take the opportunity. And thank you so much for your
I
time today.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.